Nikola Jokic is one of the most dominant players in the NBA. Wait, let me correct myself. He's the most dominant player in the NBA. And after stuffing stat sheets, bringing his team to the NBA Finals and winning a championship, and after you're this dominant, people get so used to your dominance that they just want to hate you. And this is the case for Nikola Jokic. The hate for this guy has been getting more and more profound as the days continue to go further. Just take a listen at what Shaquille O'Neal had to say after Nikola Jokic won the MVP this season.
I don't like to rain on people's parade, but I'm not happy with this one. Congratulations to Joker, you are the best big man in the league, but based on everybody's criteria, my criteria, stat stuffer, you guys' criteria, #1 seed, which team has a better record, I felt Shai Alexander deserved it because I've been #2 a lot. When I played my ass off, #2. So the fact that he has to start all over next year and try to win it again, I think it was, I know it's going to be hurtful for him. Hopefully he uses this to motivate him to win a championship. But I thought, and again, no disrespect to the Joker, best big man in the league by far. You could have went this way, but I thought Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, one of only, a few players that had 30 points 50 times, stat stuffer.
Yeah, I don't even know. I can't even tell you that.
Great season. His team is #1. Nobody expected him to be #1. I thought Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was going to win it by far. But congratulations to Joker. I'm happy for him. 3rd-time MVP. You really can't be mad at this vote. But the fact that he has to start all over next year and win it over again. Because, again, I felt I was robbed 2 or 3 times. Right? And I played my ass off. Stat stuffer, won championships those years. But, again, no disrespect to the Joker, but me personally, I would have gave it to Shaq.
Shaq keeps throwing around this word, stat stuffer. That really does not make sense when you're comparing Nikola Jokic to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And if anything, Nikola Jokic is more of a stat stuffer than Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And it's just not even close, the amount of triple doubles Jokic gets. And talking about the 1st seed and comparing the Nuggets and saying they're not the 1st seed is just truly childish, because the Nuggets and the OKC Thunder had the exact same record. So in this case, when comparing both of them, you can't look at the standings. And if we're trying to see who's the most valuable player out of Shai and Nikola Jokic, well, let's look at these 2 charts. This chart shows you how often Shai Gilgeous-Alexander changes the shot quality of every one of the players on his team. So basically, does he make his teammate's shot easier or harder? Well, if you could see, the average shot quality change is very minimal. It goes up by 0.001. And well, when you look at Nikola Jokic, it's green all over. And he is a type of player that impacts your team and gets other people playing good. And he does this by making their shots easier, hence the average shot quality change that I'm showing you right now. I think this stat really shows how valuable a player is, and if you can impact your teammates, well, you are a valuable player to your team. And I think that going out there and just hating on Nikola Jokic in front of him like Shaq did just shows how jealous Shaq is of Jokic's success, and that just wasn't a good look on Shaq. But let's understand one thing. Nikola Jokic is so good that he makes other people hate on Rudy Gobert, the best defensive player in the league right now. And there's so many people that's saying Rudy Gobert is playing bad, Rudy Gobert isn't playing good enough defense on Jokic, but in reality, Jokic has been doing this to every single big man in the league. And this is what JJ Redick had to say about people hating on Rudy Gobert because Jokic is torching him.
Oh, that's your defensive player of the year? I'm like, okay, yeah. So Jokic last night, he was 8 for 9 with Gobert as the primary defender. Going into that game last night, he was 11 for 28 with Gobert as the primary defender, including 4 for 13 in game 4. Jokic he's the best player in the world. He's gonna fucking score against anybody. Also, did you see the moves and the shots he was making at times? Like, oh no, like maybe just it's the offensive players that good. And the whole point about him getting played off the floor, look, again, I said this after game 2 when we started talking about the weekend games last week on the Old Man on 3. Like, Denver had to figure out a way to get Gobert away from the basket. That's the challenge against the Minnesota Timberwolves. It was the challenge against the Utah Jazz. It's not an indictment on Rudy Gobert. It's basketball. Sorry, I cussed again. Dang it. I'm sorry, DraftKings. You have a guy, like, think about this. You have it. Name a skill set. Name a skill set. This guy is elite at doing this. He's the best in the world at doing this. Let's try to take that away. Right?
Yeah. Jokic just plays so perfect. He could play make, he could pass, he could make it the most difficult shots like he did on Rudy Gobert. So I don't get how you could possibly hate on this dude. If anything, he's getting other people to hate on the people that are guarding him. Everyone that has guarded Nikola Jokic, Bam Adebayo, Anthony Davis, now Rudy Gobert have gotten so much hate just because they can't guard him. Nobody could guard him. But I'm being serious. Jokic is so good that he gets other people to be hated on when they actually play some decent defense. Here's what Draymond Green said about Rudy Gobert after the game.
Two things of why this series ain't coming back to Minnesota. Number one, the big Frenchman is sitting on that podium speaking his native language. We need to do this. You need to get a stop. It ain't we. Karl Anthony Towns is actually doing a pretty good job when he's on Joker. It's you, my man, that's getting cooked, so it's no we.
Like, that's bad. You get cooked by Nikola Jokic and everybody else just hates on you. But in one of the games, Nikola Jokic did something that I have never seen. An athletic dunk. That's wild. And here's what Jokic had to say about that. It was absolutely hilarious.
Nikola, in game 3, you had the dunk over Anthony Edwards. Tonight, you drove, kind of put it behind your head. Where's that coming from, and is that a product of all of Minnesota's rim protection? Do you feel like you need to finish with more authority when you have the chance?
I mean, I had an open lane, and just, you know, I'm a freak of nature, and why not to show my athleticism?
Jokic said it himself. He is a freak of nature. And if you're jealous that someone is better than you, it's not good to ruin their parade and go at them when they're accepting the MVP award. After I watched Shaq diss Nikola Jokic, I just lost complete and total respect for that dude. I get he was one of the greatest centers in the game, but just don't be jealous and don't ever call Shai Gilgeous-Alexander a stat stuffer when you're comparing him to Jokic, because we clearly know who the real stat stuffer is. All respect to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander though, brought a young team to the first seed, but when you're matching up against Jokic, you're gonna have to put up triple-double numbers to get that MVP award. But respect to Shai, man. But if you enjoyed today's video, if you could help me out, get this video out to more people, just hit that like button, takes 10 seconds, and hit that sub. I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.